My name is Rachel Hains-Wesson, and I want to speak today about my latest article that's just been published with my colleague Sanri, and it's been published with Education Sciences and it's open access, so everyone can get access to this article. Now, I'm very excited about this article because it's been a long time coming. We've been working on this project for over 3 years. And it also builds upon a previous research project I completed in 2017 with other colleagues, research education colleagues, around authentic assessment. What we've done is we worked with a whole range of different key stakeholders, HCR, higher degree research students, also award-winning teachers, both in the higher education sector and K-12. And what we did was we brought them all together as a community of practice at the University of Sydney when I was working there. And we were very keen to organise a tool that could be used to self-assess or to have other people assess assessment types to see how authentic they are. So yes, very, very excited about this research, and I hope that lots of people will use it, lots of people will adapt the tool, but also critique the tool and use it in practice to develop their own ways of self-assessing or peer assessing their assessment types and how authentic they are. Now, we know that authentic assessment in general is a contentious term. It can mean different things to different people, and we do highlight that in the article. But one of the interesting parts about this article is that we want to focus on how we could potentially create a conversation or invite a conversation where we're looking at authentic assessments at a national level from K all the way to tertiary education. And we also understand that authentic assessment is only one way to do assessments. There's other alternative ways to measure student learning, but what we find is that authentic assessment is really great to make sure you're linking theory to practice, practice to theory, but also thinking about what students will do once they hit the work environment, and just to prepare them more generally in terms of that skill development. We find authentic assessments is very valuable. Now, interestingly, when we wrote this paper, we had some fantastic critical friends who were our reviewers, and they were questioning us and probing us to really think about, is authentic assessment the only way, which we know it's not, and also how can we bring all teachers at an Australian national level to think about authentic assessment as a benchmarking process for their own practice, keeping in mind these contexts are extremely different, have different competing milestones and KPIs, and are done very differently depending on the student, the situation, the context, the culture, and all sorts of things like that. And as you get to the bottom of the research paper, you will see the tool, and this is what we're really advocating here, is that teachers begin to use this, adapt it, change it, create your own that really suits your own context. It's just a starting point. It is certainly not a solution to all our problems, and it's very much based on one university's aspect and views of authentic assessment. So what we did here through a community of practice and making sure that we're constantly reviewing it using a design-based theory methodology was to make sure that we had our criteria, that we all agreed to that. That's why it took so long. It took nearly 3 years to come to an agreement. And as you can see, we have applicability, interconnectedness, alignment, supporting materials and feedback, and rubrics. We felt that these were the key elements to draw upon to create this tool. They're not the only elements, but they, for us at this point in time in the context of operation, seemed quite relevant. And then coming across the rubric here, we have narrow design, reasonable design, and comprehensive design. And we have the formula and the key elements for those who either are self-assessing their own assessments or getting someone else to do it for them, to start having a conversation in terms of, well, where does your assessment sit? Does it need to be redesigned, enhanced, developed, expanded upon, or maybe it's correctly where it needs to be, keeping in mind that not all assessments need to be authentic either, and every context and cultural situation is going to be different and will influence practice. So I do hope that you find this tool of interest and of something that you can expand upon and develop. And if you would like to share this article, you can do that on the website of where it's hosted. In terms of education sciences, it is openly available, and we also take on feedback as well. So get in contact with me if you would like to ask any questions, and I'd love to know how you're going to be using this tool and how you do use the tool in the future. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time.